So let's start the session. In today's class, we are going to discuss the Python. Okay, we are going to start. The next one is Python. So as I've told you earlier, the course, whatever the course we are having, this entire data science course consists of with respect to Python statistics. The flow, what we are going to do is first we are going to start with Python. Within the Python, I'm going to start for first a core Python. Core Python means the basics of Python. Okay. And second, we are going to discuss Python for data science. Python for data science. Once the Python is completed, we'll move on to the statistics. Next, we'll move on to the statistics. Inside the statistics, we'll understand the complete statistics from the starting to ending level, complete from the descriptive statistics and along with that inference statistics. Two types of statistics will be there, and the two types we are going to discuss complete from end to end, complete end to end, right? Related to data science, end to end related to data science. Once this is completed, we'll move on to the next one, data, that is data analytics. We'll move on to the data analytics. Once the data analysis is also done, next we are going to move on to the next stage called as data pre-processing, that is cleaning the data, transforming the data. As I have told you earlier in the demo classes, the same thing, right? Once that is also completed, we'll move on to the machine learning and artificial intelligence. Once this is completed, we'll see the deployment part, how we can deploy the same. Okay, deployment part. Deployment in Flask, deployment in Azure. Both of them we are going to see that deployment. So this is the way which we'll do in the classes. So this is going to take for first 20 days, and this is going to take for next 10 days, and this will take for 5 days, and according to that, right? The program structure is total of 4 months, and for this you are going to have the free Python and along with that free SQL classes and Tableau, right? In the real life also, in the companies also, we are going to do in the same manner. Of course, these two are called as prerequisites. This we are not going to do in the companies. This, for understanding this one, these two are required. Otherwise, we can't do data analytics using Python. Now, data analytics in Python, we have to do means data analytics means nothing but statistical analysis. Statistical analysis we have to do means we have to learn statistics. With Python, we have to do means we have to learn the Python. So data pre-processing, whatever the data pre-processing is there, from data analytics we'll start. Data analytics, data pre-processing, machine learning and artificial intelligence and deployment. This part we will do in the company. Okay. For understanding all these things, we require the basics of this one. This is called as basics, right? Basics or prerequisites or whatever you take it, right? So we are going to understand this one now. Okay. First, we are going to cover this part, followed by this part. And along with this, you are going to get the SQL and Tableau. That we are going to discuss at the end. That is the last, because the presentation, whatever you are going to present your things, that would be in the last stage. So in the companies also we'll do in the same order. Only the SQL will come in picture first one. Directly SQL will come here generally. If you want SQL here also, I can explain SQL here. That is also not a problem. Okay, SQL also we can bring before itself. So once we extract the data from the database, we'll analyze the data, we'll clean the data, followed by we'll give to the machine to understand the data, and finally, if everything is nice, we'll deploy the data. So this is the process which we do in the company. The same way we are doing in the class also, right? These both are prerequisites. From here, the actual things starts in the company. Is that clear, guys? Now, let us start the prerequisites Python. So in the Python, we are having multiple. That is, Python is used for multiple applications. This is not only used for only machine learning purpose or artificial intelligence purpose or website design purpose. Python is used for wide range of applications are there. Okay, inside that, one is compulsory is core Python. Everyone has to learn the core Python. Compulsory. Everyone has to learn the core Python. It is mandatory. Whoever are working on the Python, they have to learn the core Python. Now, second option is, second one, advanced Python. Advanced Python means in terms of we are going to have some kind of OOPS concept or formalism, inheritance. All these concepts will be there. Advanced Python, decorators, all these things, which are not required for us. This is not required for data scientist, not required for data scientist. At the same time, it is more important for the Python developer role. For Python developer role, this is more important, not for the data scientist. So if you are having any friend or if you are having any relatives or anyone as who are working on the Python, just ask them, you know, Cburn. They'll say Cburn. Huh? What is that? They don't know that one. We don't know this one. They are Python developers, right? Python developers means entire Python they should know. Huh? Just go and ask them. Whoever wants, whoever working in the industry, entire industry, apart from data scientist, ask, you know, Cburn. Ask, you know, whether this related to Skype, this data science, some libraries I will tell you. Ask them. They will say simply, I don't know. Because that is not required for them. In their real life, they are not going to use. If they are not going to use in their real life, what is the purpose of learning? For why we have to learn? To get confused ourselves. Yeah. For confusing ourselves, we have to learn so many things. No need, right? So whichever we are going to work in the industry, first we have to identify what is the requirement. And based on that, we have to learn accordingly. Right? But in depth, we have to learn. While learning, we have to learn in depth, which is required in the real life. In depth, we have to learn. Clearly, we have to learn. Without by-hearting, we have to learn. That is the important. Not learning of so many things which are unimportant. In real life, if it is not important, then what is the use of learning? Right? Now, here, to be more precise, we are going to discuss the first Python, core Python, and followed for Python for data science. Directly, we are going to jump into the Python for data science. Once the core Python is common for everyone. For whatever the type of Python developer, whether he's a gaming designer, whether he's a website designer, whether he's a machine learning engineer, whether he's an artificial intelligence, or whether he's working on some kind of web scraping or something, whatever it is, whatever the domain and whatever the area he is working, in the Python, core Python is mandatory for everyone. It is common. Core Python means nothing but Python fundamentals. Based on this only, everything was designed. From there only, everything was designed. And advanced Python is not required for the data scientists, like OOPS concepts of formalism, decorators, all these things are not required for the data scientist. In entire data science career, we are not going to use them. Unless you are in the major role in the deployment team. Deployment generally will be done by the software developers. Already I have told you in the previous classes, right? And if you are in the part of that deployment, then you may require additional things. As a software developer, if they are requiring you also as a work as a software developer, means, for example, you are working on a startup company. In the startup company, they are not having one more person to hire. That much of money is not there for them to hire one more person for software developer. They'll ask one should be familiar with full stack Python along with the data science. Right? Now coming to the Python, let us start this Python. Python was created by von Rossum in the year of 1991. Right? It is a very easiest programming language. So this is not important. 1991 or other name. This is not important. We are not participating in the GK exam. Don't worry. That is not important. Just basic introduction we have to tell, right? That is the reason. Right? So this was created in the 1991 by von Rossum, and it is one of the easiest programming language. Programming language. What is meant by programming language? What is meant by language? Language means nothing but communication. Communicating with each other. Okay, communicating each other is called as language. Now, what is meant by programming? Communication was done through program. The communication was done. For example, I'm discussing with you in English language. Because you know English, I know English. So we can discuss each other, and whatever I'm saying, you are understanding, or you are saying I'm understanding. But machine don't know the English. So for the machine, there is a separate language is there. That language is programming. So by writing the program, now the machine will understand what we want to say. And similarly, it is going to give the reply what it is going to say. So this was created by using a program. So it is called as programming language. Any program, any language, by writing the code and you are getting the answers, means then it is called as programming language, right? So in the entire world, even you can type in the Google, in entire world, which is the easiest programming language, just type in the Google, you'll get the answer as Python. Python is the dead easiest programming language, where we can use the complex programs also we can write in a simple way. And when compared to Java, if you compare the Java, never in your entire life will you open the Java after learning Python. After learning the Python, in your entire career, you will not open the Java even one source will not open, because such a easiest, whatever in the Java 20 lines of code we have to write, means in Python just 5 lines of code is sufficient for that. Okay, and the syntax, whatever the syntax is there, it is a very simple syntax. Now the question is, what is meant by syntax? Syntax is nothing but rules are called as syntax. There will be certain rules. They are already created that one. We are not going to create that one. For example, in English language, we are having certain rules are there. Tenses are there. Simple past is there. Past continuous is there. Past with respect to simple future is there. Similarly, simple present tense. Like this, we are having different types of tenses are there. For example, tomorrow is holiday. Tomorrow is not holiday. Example only. Okay, example only. Example, tomorrow is holiday. So tomorrow is holiday. We are going to write the word called as is. We can't use the word called as was, right? Tomorrow was holiday. Was belongs to past tense. So for past, how we can use this tomorrow? Tomorrow means future. When you are working on the future, that too, that is simple future, we can't use with the word of was. This we have discussed in the English language. The English teacher has explained us with respect to the alphabets, the words and the tenses and parts of speech, all these things, and along with that, how to frame the sentences. Now, this is as per the English language. This rule is as per the English language. We can't use the was. As per the English language, we have to use tomorrow is holiday. Is only we have to use. We can't use the was, because that is the English syntax. Syntax means rule. In Python also, we are having the same way. Some syntax are there. Rules are there. Similarly for Java, any programming language will have the syntax. For example, you are speaking in Telugu. In Telugu, you can't combine the different words as per your choice, right? You have to form a proper sentence, means there is some syntax is there. In the Hindi also, there is a proper syntax is there. In Tamil also, proper syntax is there. Any language, one language is there, means that particular language will have some syntax. Syntax means some rule will be there. You can't create as per your choice. You can't bring three different words and you can't combine as per your order. You have to take in the same order, whatever the creation was there. So these are called as syntax. Syntax means nothing but rules. Rules of the language. Whatever the language, rules are called as syntax. For example, our house is there. House number. House number we are going to have 24-14-46- something we are having like this, or oblique C or oblique B, oblique A, something we are having. We can't use a question mark, right? In the house number, can anyone find the question mark, or anyone can have the @ ? Can anyone use that house number in this way? Either you can use the slash or you can use the hyphen or backslash. Only two options we are having. Okay, with alphabets and numbers. We can't use @ , we can't use the question mark, we can't use the commas. 24, 14, 26/B. Can you use like this? Who told like that? Then you can use 24 @ , 14 @ , you can use, right? What is the problem? The problem is government has created some syntax for that. The government of India has created the syntax that house numbers should be in this way. That syntax means nothing but rules, right? So whatever the rules are there, just we have to work on that rules so that it is going to be easy. Now here, whatever the Python is there, Python is having the simplest syntax when compared to any other programming language. All the different programming languages, when compared to that, the Python syntax is very simple. Rules are simple means automatically working will be very simple. If the rules are more number of rules are there, we have to by heart those many rules means it is very difficult. 10 rules, 20 rules, okay. 500 rules, 1000 rules means from where can we can remember all those rules? It is not possible, right? So the more number of rules are there, the more the complex programming. Less number of rules are there, the easiest programming, right? Whereas Python is having very less number of rules are there. Why we should learn this Python? This is multiple advantages are there. The reasons behind Python is multiple reasons, out of which the first reason is open source. Open source means it is a free, completely it is free. Okay, you no need to buy the crack version or you no need to install the crack, nothing. By default, it is free. Completely they have given for free version, right? So we can use the Python software without any kind of license, completely free version. For companies only, we are having that to advance. High level deployment and security we require means that only we require the enterprise level. Basically, normal companies also use the free Python only. Very high level enterprise companies are there. Those for the security reasons, they are going to use this enterprise level, which are the security for that. Basically, normal every company are using the open source only. In the market, almost 95% of the companies are using the open source. Only 5% of the companies are using that enterprise level, right? Next, it is having the robust standard libraries, means multiple libraries are there where we can make the programming very simple. In just 2 lines or 3 lines of code only, we can complete the entire things because of due to the library. The advantage is libraries. Multiple libraries are there, right? For example, let us assume this one. If you want to the factorial, 5 factorial is 120. Okay, for writing this factorial, 5 factorial 120, the output of 120 you want, whatever the number is, I may write 5, I may write 4, I may write 3, I may write 10 also, anything, whatever the number, n factorial is the program. Okay, this program, if you want to write in the Java, it will take 10 lines of code. And in Python, it will take with normal core Python, without using the library, it will take 5 lines of code. And if you use the library, it is a 2 lines of code. Just only thing is, first line is import that particular function from math. Math is the library name. From math, import the factorial is the function. So factorial of, if you ask factorial of 5, answer is 120. These are the 2 lines of code. First line is from math, import factorial. Second line is factorial of 5. Whatever the number. 4 you want means 4. 10 you want means 10. Whatever the number. Just 2 lines. This is because library. What library? Math is the library name, where mathematical things we can do easily from this library. Due to this library, the code was brought to 2 lines of code. If this library is not available, generally we are going to write 5 lines of code in a core Python. That we are going to see in the further. In the Java, it is 10 lines. Okay. Now, when compared to any other programming languages, Python is the simplest programming. The reason behind that is why it is taking less lines of code, because libraries are more number of libraries are available. Okay. Next, the third advantage of Python is dynamic type. This is the third advantage. What is meant by dynamic? For any programming language, for example, a is equal to 10. If you want to store the 10 value, in the a, generally in the max we'll write a is equal to 10, x is equal to 5, something like this, right? What is the meaning of that? This 10 value is taken as a, right? Now here, in the other programming languages like C language or Java language, when compared to other programming, sir, why you are comparing every time this one like this? Because to show you that Python is simple. Sir, I don't know C or Java. Then you are lucky. There is no comparison. I'm going to compare only for today. From tomorrow onwards, nothing comparison is there. Okay. Now a is equal to 10. Now int a means this is the integer value. That is the meaning of that. Generally in other programming languages, in this other programming languages, we have to write int a is equal to 10. But in Python, we have to write a is equal to 10. In other programming languages, we have to use the word of int a is equal to 10 and we have to use semicolons like this. But in Python, just a is equal to 10. Only simple. Sir, for example, a is equal to 10. Okay, sir. For example, 10.4 you want to store. In other programming languages, we have to write the data type. Whatever the data type according to that, it is there. We have to write. But in Python, we don't need to write any type of data type. Anything. None of them we don't need to write the data type. Automatically, it will assign the data type for that. Automatically, it will do. Automatically assigning the data type is called as dynamic programming. That is the meaning of dynamic programming. Dynamic programming means we no need to assign data type while assigning the variable. Assigning the variable means by creating like this, we no need to write in front whatever the data type name is. Just to write simply how in the max we'll write x is equal to 5, y is equal to 6, x plus 5 is equal to 11. We'll write like this, right? Same thing write in the Python. Same thing. X is equal to 5, y is equal to 6, x plus 5. You ask like this, Python will give the 11. When in other this simple syntax, now you'll understand the meaning of syntax. I will explain now. Simple syntax. Python is a very simple. For understanding Python, what is the prerequisite means just English language. Because I'm going to explain English now. That is the requirement. Right? If you understand the basic English language, that is more than sufficient. Right? So Python is a very simple language where the readability, where we are having readability, and the Python is very simple to English language. Now, what is the difference? Let us take. You want to, everyone knows the first program, generally will write hello world. This is the general first program, everyone will write. So let us also write the same program. Okay, let us also start with the same. Now, the same thing, if you want to print in the C language, what we have to do? Generally, include hash, include stdoh. Okay, and you have to take the main, and you have to open. Inside that, we have to take printf, and inside that, we have to write hello world. This is the thing, right? If there is a wrong also, don't correct me, because I am also not that much of good at C language, because I am using Python only, right? Done. Now, this is with respect to C language. Generally in the C language, where this is going to print. For printing this line, how many lines of code we have written? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including the brackets open and bracket close, 5 lines of code. Okay. Now, what is meant by this stdoh means? It is standard input output. STD stands for standard, I stands for input output. Console .h. What is the reason of .h means? It is going to extract that particular libraries. And main. So whatever the complete code is there. This is C language. Throw away side, and it is going to print the output is this one only. Finally, the output is this one only. In the Java, if you want to go with the Java, we have to use with again public void class something. And we have to use with respect to the brackets, square brackets, and within that system dot print out dot ln something, and we have to write the hello world. Whatever the hello world is there, we have to write in the, this is in the Java. Now, coming to the Python, the same program to write in the Python, just write hello world. Just write hello world. This you want to print now, write in the print. That's it. Just simple. There is no main, there is no open curly braces, there is no closed curly braces, there is no class, there is nothing. Nothing is there. Not even this one also is not there. This is also not there. Python is such a simple syntax. So when compared to any other programming languages, the syntax is dead easy, right? So this is the advantage of the Python, right? Very simple syntax. That is the reason Python is the easiest programming language when compared to any other, right? Now, high level, it is a high level programming. Next one is high level. High level programming means it is programmer friendly. We don't require to concentrate on the low level activities like memory management and security. It will only do automatically. Inside itself, it will take the memory allocation, memory management. Whenever recalling with the same thing, automatically it will do. Right? It makes the programmer very friendly, easy way. We don't need to focus on all these things. Right? Python can be treated in a procedural way. Procedural way means one by one, step by step. It is going to take letter to letter, line by line. It is going to work in that way. That is called as procedural way. And it is a object oriented programming, and along with that functional programming. It is a procedural programming. It is a procedural programming, object oriented programming, and functional programming. Right? So procedural, object oriented, and functional, three programmings. Right? Now, procedural programming means whatever the step by step you have written, it is going to execute in that order. For example, first one, this one, first line, second line, third line, fourth line. First it will execute first line only, then it will come to the second line, and it is okay, then it will come to the third line, fourth line, like this in the order. Whatever the order you have written, it is going to take in the same order. Now, sir, in other programming languages is also the same now? Yes, obviously. In any programming language, we are going to have the procedure only, common procedure. And object oriented. Here also we are going to create the multiple objects, and based on the object we are going to work. And functional programming. Functional programming is inside the brackets, one more bracket, inside that one more bracket also you can write. Then it is called as functional programming. Right? Now, next one is advantage is portability. Portability means whatever you have designed, if you have designed this one in the Windows, still you can use in the Mac OS. So, for example, you are having like a Java or C language, whatever the other languages are there. These languages, we require some kind of virtual machines. Okay, this we require the virtual machines, and whatever the program you have written, you have to convert to the compiler. You have to convert to the different code by that is Java C. You have to convert that one to Java C, and then you have to execute this one in the VM. And you can see the answer. So in intermediate objects are formed, whereas here nothing is there. Python by default it will have the virtual machine. Just you have to write the Python code and click on the enter button. It will execute. You no need to save as Java C, or in between that one you no need to install the compiler. Nothing is there. Just write the code, enter. Click on the enter button. It will execute. Right? So portability means whatever you are executing, for example, you are executing the Java code in Windows. Assume you have created one Java code in Windows. The same code can you use in the iOS? Copy the same code, whatever is there. You know how to copy, right click, copy. Copy that one and paste in the iOS, like Mac. So in the MacBook, you just copy that one and execute there. You can't execute without installing the VM. Right? Whereas in the Python, if the Python was installed means simply we can execute. Easily portable. Right? So Python works on the different platforms. Python can be worked on the Windows OS, Windows, Mac, everything. Linux, everything. Right? And Python is an interpreter language. This is the most important one. Interpreter language. And this is the interview question. Not for the data scientists. Okay, for Python developer, this is one of the important interview questions. See, for interview questions for data scientist, once you have come, for example, let us take like this. You have studied LKG, UKG, first class, second class, third class, like this up to 10th class, you are intermediate, and BTech or BSc or whatever degree. Now, once you completed degree, now in the interview, they are going to ask the questions in this, in this. Similarly, the same way in our entire data science, whatever that we are going to discuss from this level to this level, we are learning means in interview, which level questions they have to ask? Simple logic. They'll not ask Lilliput questions. Whatever we are discussing today's class is with respect to UKG or LKG, not even UKG, LKG only, not even LKG, pre-KG only. Today's class is pre-KG. Pre-KG questions they'll not ask in the interview, right? If someone says interview questions means, this much of level we are discussing means this will how they will ask. Minimum common sense apply. Okay. So these kind of questions to whom they are going to ask means for certification purpose. In the certification, they are going to ask this kind of interpreter language. What is interpreter language? What is compiler language? Differences, all these things. Right? So Python is an interpreter language where the programs are executed directly without a compiler. Here there is no compiler. Without using a compiler, it is going to execute by default. Now the question is, what is the difference between interpreter versus compiler? This is the question. Right? This question is again for Python developers, not for data scientists. Right? So remember, whenever there is data scientist questions, only after Python for data science only. Before to Python for data science, no Python for data science questions will be there. Okay, all these questions, whatever core Python questions are there, every question is for data scientist only. For Python developers only. And for your understanding purpose, the interview process for any developer, the interview process for developer and for data scientist is entirely different. For developer, they are going to first we have to send the resume. We have to create the resume. Here also we have to create the resume. This is common. We have to share to the company. Here also we have to share to the company. Once the company shortlists the resume, this first step is common. Once the resume is shortlisted, for example, here the resume was shortlisted for developer role. That resume was shortlisted. Now in the interview, they are going to conduct the interview. In the interview, the questions will be related to coding, completely coding, starting to ending level, code. Because their life was a code only, na? Work was a code only. Morning to evening, they have to click on the code only. So obviously that is coding is important for them. Coding is important means obviously in the interview also they have to ask the same thing. So the interview question will be based on the coding, 100%. Okay. Interview stage of first step, second step, third step, fourth step is there means 4 steps also coding only will be there, obviously. And finally the HR round where the salary negotiation will be there. Now the same thing in the data scientist comes to the picture. Coding, whatever the coding is there, not even one question will get from coding. Not even one question in the entire interview. One question also, not even one question. Why, sir? Here, coding is not important. Analytical skills are important. They'll tell you a situation. In this situation, what you are going to do. As a data scientist, how you are going to solve this situation. So the interview process, how they are going to do for data scientists means once your resume was shortlisted, they are going to send a case study to your mail. They are going to send a case study to your mail. Okay, one problem. Case study means one problem. They'll send a one problem to your mail. And they'll ask how you are going to solve this particular problem. So once you are going to solve this problem, okay, they will give the time of 3 to 2 days, generally 2 days, 48 hours, they will give the time. So in the 2 days, we are going to solve this one. Once we solve this one, and we are going to revert the same thing to the mail. On the mail, we are going to send the answer, whatever the answer is there. Now they are going to see what is the process you have done, in what way your thinking is there. Person to person, the way of thinking will be different. I told you earlier. So now what is the way of thinking is there and how you have analyzed the data and how you have presented the data that they are going to observe. And based on that observation, they are going to call to the interview. This is the process. Now, sir, here 2 days is there now. 2 days, it is open book. Yes, it is an open book. For example, sir, my friend has solved this one and we have reverted. They will identify within 1 minute only. In the interview, just 1 minute, they will identify. More, 1 minute also more. Easily they will identify. How, sir? Just they will ask, inside that, whatever you have shared now, the first question in the interview is, tell me about yourself. Common. First question, that is common. Introduce yourself is common. Second question, in this particular thing, you have selected this one now. Why you have selected? They'll ask like this. Whoever has done on their own, immediately they'll answer. Whoever has done, your friend has done, they'll see like this first. Immediately we'll understand. They are trying to recollect whatever that friend has told to him. They are trying to recollect that expressions. Do you think that a person who is interviewing, he is a fresher, first time he is interviewing? No, right? In his career, so many interviews he has seen. He know who has done, who has not done. He can't identify. Experienced people, right? Those who are interviewing are experienced people. They are not freshers. They are not interviewing you for the first time. They don't know how to interview means, then okay, you can bluff them. They have seen so many bluff masters. Great personalities only they have seen. Who has copied from the starting to ending. So they can easily identify. Right? In my career only, I have interviewed more than 300 plus. Maybe 500 plus also. I don't remember exactly. Minimum 300 is guaranteed. 300 plus people I have interviewed. I don't know which resume is fake resume, which resume is original resume. We can't identify that much of Lilliputta. We are paying huge salaries for the person, miss. By simply bluffing, you can get that much of salary. Okay, you are expecting a salary of just 1.8 lakhs per annum. That is 15,000 per month, miss. Okay, that is okay, normal amount. Expecting 1.5 lakh per month and you are bluffing, miss. Hey, think logically, apply the logic. Right? Now, here that interpreter versus compiler. The interview question is interpreter versus compiler. This is an interview question for the Python developer. 100% interview question. This is one of the most important interview question. Now, here the compiler versus interpreter. Now, whatever the interpreter is there and compiler. So let me explain with a simple example. Interpreter, compiler. Okay. So here, let us assume we are having 6 lines of code is there. Here also we are having 6 lines of code. Assume these are the 6 lines of code. Out of which, in the compiler, if you are considering with a Java C language or Java, in these two, both of them are compiler languages. What these both will do is, they will convert, they will see first whether this line is correct or not. Yes, correct. This line is correct or not. Correct. This line is correct or not. Correct. This line is correct or not. Wrong. Wrong means it will throw the error. And while throwing the error, it will even check the 5th line also. It is correct or wrong. Correct. It is correct or wrong. Wrong. So it will throw the errors. The errors is errors of 4th line and 6th line. In the 4,6, there are errors. Please rectify the errors. So we are going to rectify them. We are going to correct them. We are going to change the 2 errors. Whatever the errors are there, we are going to rectify them. And once we rectify them, now entire program, complete from top to bottom, entire program will be converted and it is going to give the final answer in one step. The entire program. Whatever the program, 6 lines of program is there, entire program, it is going to print the answer. Now, coming to the interpreter. In the interpreter, first it is going to check the line number 1. It is correct. It is correct means print the answer. Irrespective of second one. Forget there is no second line also. Execute the first line. Second line, it will execute the second line. It will execute the third line. The problem is in the 4th line. Assume there is a problem in the 4th line. Similarly, what I have explained here, in the same way, 4th line, there is a problem. Now, in the 4th line, there is a problem. The Python will stop immediately here itself. It will stop immediately and it will rectify that there is an error in the 4th line only. It will not even check the 5th line. 6th line also error is there. 4 and 6 are there. Here also earlier, whatever the example I have taken is 4 and 6 are errors are there. 2 of them are reported at a time. But here it is going to report only the first error. It will report only the first error. And it will stop the program here itself. And the down part, whatever it is there, it will not even check whether there errors are there or not. It will check only, it will stop at the 4th error and it will miss at a time. You can see only one error at a time. You can't see the multiple errors at a time. Only one error, you can see that one. Once you rectify this one, for example, in the 6th line, one more error is there. Again, refreshly, again, it will show the error in the 6th line. It will not display all the errors of the program at a time because it will not even come down. Once the error is there, it will stop there only. It will not even check in the 5th line what is there. It will not even check in the 6th line what is there. It will just focus only on that particular line. When it is working on that line, it will check only that line. If that line is clear or not, If it is correct means it will just execute that time. So interpreter means executes the program by taking one statement at a time, one line. It will check only one line and it will give the output of one line also. Whereas compiler, the entire program is converted to machine code and it will give the output. And now error is reported as first error is encountered. The first error, the moment the first error is encountered, immediately it will report that one. Errors are reported after entire program is checked. After checking all the lines of code, 500 lines of code is there. In the 500 lines of code, for example, you have made a mistake in 40 lines of code. Okay, out of 500 lines of code overall, out of which 40 lines are mistakes are there. It will show all the 40 lines at a time. Finally, we'll confuse ourselves. Whoever the starters are there, experienced people, okay, fine. Whoever the freshers are there who are working on that, 40 lines of code or wrong errors are there, means they'll confuse themselves. Whereas Python will show only one error. So for the starters or for the beginners who are entering into the programming, the Python will make them easy because they'll focus only on one error. Of course, same 40 lines, 40 errors are there also. It will show one error only at a time. It will not display all the 40 errors at a time. Right? That is the advantage. So easier to debug. So that one error only we are going to focus and easily we can debug that one. What is meant by debug means? Bug means error. Debug means rectifying the error. You can debug the errors. And whereas when compared to this one, this is somewhat difficult in Java because multiple errors will be displaying at a time, right? We itself will confuse. Here no intermediate object is formed. Here intermediate object is formed because there is a virtual machine in between. Here Python itself, it is having the virtual machine. Sir, can I use the Python as a compiler also? Yes, Python is a hybrid programming. It is a interpreter and compiler, both of them. Both. It is an interpreter and compiler. If you want as an interpreter, you can execute. If you want as a compiler, you can execute. I will show you. Okay, when I'm starting the Python coding, I will show you that one. Okay, so we can execute anything, right? Now, overall execution is slower. When compared to this compilers, this overall execution is slow because this entire program was converted in one shot, right? So overall it is fast. Whereas this one is comparatively line to line execution, it is slow. Sir, example. Okay. Let us take an example. I will show Python as both interpreter. I will show Python as a compiler, both. So don't think this spider as of now. I will show you how to install and how to work everything later. So how we can execute the Python? What are the different ways of executing the Python? Means almost we are having 10 to 15 ways are there. 10 to 15 ways are there to execute the Python. Right? Now, okay. Now here I'm going to write print. Okay, earlier I have told you, right? Print, just print hello. You want to print hello, hello world. Okay, just we can write hello world. Just print hello world. And here, this is the first line. Okay, second line. I'm writing in the second line. Print data science. Print data science. Next, in the third line, I'm writing print SRK. Okay, 3 lines of code is there. Print hello world, print data science, print SRK. Assume it is a compiler language. Assume this is a compiler language, means all the lines it is going to work at a time. Interpreter language means one line at a time. So for example, I want to execute only first line. Though I have written 3 lines of code, I want to execute only first line. I'm executing the first line by clicking on this. See, print hello world. The output is hello world. Hello world was printed. Right? If you want to print the instead of second line, directly if you want to print the third line, you can print the third line also. Second line printing is not mandatory. But whereas in the compiler language, entire program is considered. For example, if I click on this, this is considered as a compiler language. The entire program, Hello World Data Science SRK. It is taking the entire program and it is working. This button says compiler, this button is interpreter. In the Python, we can do both of them. Sir, you have written 3 lines of code, sir, but I am not interested in executing all the lines of code. I'm interested in printing 1 plus 2, which is output 3, but above code should not be executed. In the compiler language, once you click on this, it is going to execute everything. So this one also print, let us print. Okay. So in the compiler, if I click on this, compiler means from the starting, everything is printing. I don't want everything. I want only this line. Select this line and execute. Above 3 lines not printed, right? This facility is available in Python. This facility is not available in Java. Java, if you have written the code, means entire code from the starting, it has to execute. Otherwise, we have to delete. Or we have to convert that one as a comment. But here, we can select whichever the line we are interested, whichever the things we want to do. Because Python is an interpreter plus compiler. That is the advantage. Is that clear? Now, so applications of Python is machine learning. We are using the Python in machine learning, artificial intelligence, in the entire artificial intelligence, web applications. Okay, like Python developers, web applications means Python developers who are learning the Python separately. That is core Python, advanced Python, nested, Django. Like this, they are moving on to the one by one. That is for what purpose they are learning the next one? Why Django they are going to learn? Why REST APIs they are going to learn? Because they are working as the Python developers, as the website designers. For website, this is required. For example, tomorrow you are working on the gaming side. In the gaming, Django is required. Who are going to work on the gaming side? They require this one. No. They require with respect to the library called as PySoy. They don't require this library. They require this one. Pygame, this one, they require. For example, the person working on the web scraping, they request and beautiful soup. Like this, they are going to use. Right? So we are having wide range of applications with respect to Python. Python is not only for machine learning, or Python is not only for website design. Python is having wide range of applications, out of which these are the part of the applications. And most of the companies are with respect to data science, particularly in data science, 95% of the companies, not 95, 99% of the companies use the Python. 99% of the companies will use the Python. Sir, why, how you can say this 99%, sir? Directly you are saying whatever the number you are interested, you are saying no, just you go and check in the job portal. Open the job portal and as per your interest. After the class, you go and open the job portal. In the job portal, just click on the search button, data science. Type in the data science. And once you click on the data science, you'll get the data science jobs, right? In the data science jobs, check how many jobs are asking Python. How many jobs are asking with Python R slash will be there. Observe this one. R slash will be there. Slash R means either any of them. And how many of them are asking with Python and R? Just observe this one and tell me tomorrow. Observe 10 companies. Choice is yours. Any website, anything. Choice is yours. 10 companies you observe. After observing 10 companies, tell me tomorrow how many companies are asking this way. And apart from Python and R, what is the other programming they're asking? Tell me tomorrow. Easily you'll identify, if my guess is correct, 10 out of 10 will be with respect to this one and this one, Python or R, 10 by 10. You can't even identify one company also like this, not even one company. Out of 100, you may find one company. But most of the 99% of the companies require only Python. Because in Python, so many things we can do. In R, that many things we can't do. For example, you want to do video processing. Can you do in the R language? Audio processing. Can you do that? If you want to do with respect to some kind of artificial intelligence part, again you have to shift to the Python only. Na? Why we have to learn two programming languages simultaneously? To confuse ourselves. Obviously, we don't know one programming language only properly. We are learning as a learners. We are in the starting stage, first stage. Why we have to learn two things simultaneously? Automatically at the end we will only confuse, right? When we are learning new things, we have to make the subject easy, not complicated. To make the subject easy, we have to focus on any one thing, so that our focus will be on that easily and we can learn more things on that. Will not neither be expert in Python, will not neither be expert in other programming. What is the use? If you learn one thing also, perfectly if you learn means, you'll be very expert in that means, there is a high probability you'll get the job. Right? And Python is used in the various fields like software developers, data scientists, data analysts, hackers, bankers, engineers, designers, doctors, scientists, everyone are using with respect to this Python, right? Multiple people are using. So Python in simple way, we can say it is a general purpose language. General purpose means for all the types of applications. It is not only fixed for machine learning. Okay, whereas R is there, right? Some student has asked me earlier R programming. Now that R programming is not used for website design, right? R programming is not used for this kind of gaming design, right? R programming is not used for artificial intelligence, right? For what purpose R is used? Only for statistical programming. If you type in the Google, R is with respect to is statistical language. For statistics purpose, we'll use the R generally. Apart from statistics, will not even touch in the companies also are. Earlier, this is 2 years back. 2 years back, we are not having that much of good in Python with respect to statistics. But recently, multiple libraries we have got in the statistics also in Python, like SciPy, Scientific Python, Stats Model. Like this, we have got with respect to multiple libraries related to statistics. Whatever we can do in R, we can do it here. Earlier, this is not there. Since it is not there, earlier 2 years back or 3 years back, everyone used to learn the R also separately. For doing the statistics, R is required. For doing the machine learning, Python is required. But now everything is Python. Right? Python is a general purpose language. Wide range of applications are there. It is a high level language. It is an interpreter language, which is a scripted language. This is the introduction of Python. Now we are having multiple ways to execute the Python. Various ways are there. So that we are going to discuss in the tomorrow's class, and how to install the Python also we are going to discuss in the tomorrow's class. Now we are having various ways to execute Python. Ways to execute the Python. I'm going to show you tomorrow at least 7 to 8 ways I will show you. Out of these, all of them, which is the easiest one means, whichever you feel easiest, that is the easiest one. Okay, which is the best one means, whichever you feel easiest, that is the best one. Sir, in the companies, which one they are going to prefer? Which way they are going to prefer means, in the companies, no one is going to say you have to work in this only. They'll ask you to work in Python, not in this only. This way only you have to execute the Python. No one will ask you like that. Choice is yours. They want the Python code. That is important. You have to execute through Python. That is important. In this way only you have to execute. These lines only you have to write. Okay. They are in the companies, they are not going to ask you. You are not LKG student to write A, again writing A on this. By writing the slate and pencil, taking that one. You are not going to do like this, na? Right? So Python can be executed in multiple ways, and out of the multiple ways, multiple options are there. Various options are there. I will show you maximum number of options, and whichever you feel easy, select that one. Whichever you feel easy, right? That is going to be in the tomorrow's class. And now you can ask what are the questions you are having. Right? Tomorrow is installation of Python along with the how to execute the Python. Both. That is tomorrow's class.